Andrew had always taken pride in being the kind of husband every woman dreamed of, attentive, compassionate, and loyal. His wife, Lena, was his world. Intelligent, stunning, and driven. Together, they had built a life that seemed solid from the outside. Sure, like any couple, they had their occasional spats, but Andrew believed their connection was strong enough to weather anything. He couldn't have been more mistaken. It began on what seemed like a typical Friday evening. Andrew finished work early, a rare occurrence, and decided to head home. There was no special occasion. He simply wanted to surprise Lena with the dinner she'd been hinting at all week. But the moment he stepped into the house, something felt off, too quiet. Lena's car was parked in the driveway, but the kitchen was empty. He expected to find her chopping vegetables or stirring a pot, maybe humming along to a playlist. Instead, silence greeted him. Then he saw it. Her phone resting on the kitchen counter, its screen glowing with a new message. Curious, he glanced at it. "Can't wait to see you tonight, babe. The meeting went great. Let's talk more over dinner. Mark." The message stopped him cold. The word babe felt like a slap. His heartbeat quickened. Picking up the phone, he scrolled through her messages, each one confirming the storm gathering in his chest. They were far from professional. Compliments, flirting, secrets whispered in text bubbles. Then, one message shattered the illusion completely. "I miss you. When can we finally be together without sneaking around?" That was it. The puzzle pieces snapped into place. The unexplained late work nights, the sudden business trips, the half-hearted excuses. She wasn't working late. She wasn't chasing her dreams. She was seeing him. Mark, her boss. The betrayal hit Andrew like a wrecking ball. He stood frozen, numb, trying to comprehend the weight of it. His mind spun with disbelief, grief, and a growing fire of rage. One thought began to rise above the chaos. This won't end like this. He wasn't going to just walk away. Revenge started to whisper in his ear. But this wouldn't be reckless. It would be calculated. Cold. Brutal. Mark wasn't just some fling. He was known for being smug and egotistical, strutting around the office like a king among peasants, throwing his authority around like a badge. He thought his money and title made him untouchable. That arrogance would be his downfall. Andrew's plan began to take form. He wouldn't just confront Lena. No, he would ruin Mark. Publicly. Mercilessly. Later that evening, when Lena walked to the front door, Andrew was already seated at the dinner table. The lights were dimmed, the table set, but the warmth was gone. His face was unreadable. "Hey, babe," Lena greeted casually, her voice laced with artificial cheer. But Andrew noticed it, the flicker of nervousness in her eyes. He leaned back in his chair, voice cool and sharp. "Sit down. We need to talk." Lena hesitated, then took her seat. The air between them grew heavy. Without a word, Andrew slid her phone across the table, the screen displaying the damning message thread. "Care to explain this?" he asked, his tone like ice. Lena stared at the screen, her face drained of color. Panic flashed, but she tried to compose herself, to patch the cracks forming in her mask. I didn't want you to find out like this," she whispered, eyes avoiding his. "It wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't mean for you to get hurt." Lena's lips trembled as she tried to speak, but no words came. She stammered, caught in the grip of guilt and shock. Andrew leaned forward, his tone low but resolute. "You've been lying to me for months, Lena. You thought you could juggle both worlds. The husband who stood by you, and Mark, the man you ran to when things got too real." She stayed silent, but the silence said it all. There were no more excuses left. She knew she'd been caught, and there was no escape. But Andrew wasn't finished. He had been preparing for this confrontation, not just emotionally, but strategically. As Lena sat frozen, trying to find something, anything to say, Andrew's phone vibrated on the table. He picked it up and read the message aloud, his voice calm but cutting. "Can't wait to see you after work tonight. Let's finally go public with this, babe." Mark. His eyes met Lena's, and he smiled, not the kind of smile that offered warmth, but one of quiet control. "I'll tell you what," he said coolly. "I'm going to make sure Mark understands the true cause of playing this little game. Lena's face went ashen. Andrew, no. Please don't, she whispered, her voice cracking. But it was already done. Without another word, Andrew rose from his chair, walked past her, and left the house. He didn't look back. He had a mission now, and it was bigger than heartbreak. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. It was about justice. The following morning, Andrew got to work. He dug deep, emails, texts, photos, screenshots, everything he needed to expose the truth. And then he took it one step further. He uncovered a confidential work document that linked Mark to questionable, possibly illegal business practices. Evidence in hand, Andrew sent it all to the one person who deserved to know the truth more than anyone else, Mark's wife. But he didn't stop there. That document, he made sure it reached Mark's business partners, too. There would be no cover-up, no hiding behind corporate power. Andrew ensured the damage would be public, undeniable, and permanent. The fallout was swift. Mark's wife filed for divorce almost immediately. The scandal rocked their social circle. His colleagues and investors pulled away, eager to distance themselves. The empire Mark had built on charm, lies, and arrogance began to collapse overnight. He was no longer untouchable. He was finished. Lena, now watching everything fall apart, tried to repair what was left between her and Andrew. She cried. She apologized. She pleaded. But it was too late. Andrew couldn't unsee the betrayal. Couldn't unfeel the hollow place it had carved in him. The bond they once had snapped under the weight of her lies. He filed for divorce. And before it was finalized, he handed her one final piece of closure, a letter. Inside, he had laid it all out. What she destroyed, what she had sacrificed, and what little remained of the life they had once built. Her job, her marriage, her character, gone. As for Mark, he made headlines for all the wrong reasons. The powerful boss was now the disgraced fraud. His company crumbled under public scrutiny. He lost everything. Andrew never yelled, never retaliated with chaos. His revenge was surgical, clean, quiet, and devastating. In the end, Andrew walked away not just free, but stronger. Yes, he had been betrayed, but he had refused to be broken. He had turned his pain into power and left the ones who wronged him to drown in the wreckage they created. Because sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't rage or violence. It's walking away with your dignity intact, while they're left picking up the shattered pieces of their own destruction.